Yo, what's up, guys? What is going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Galatasaray versus Liverpool 1-0. Man, yet again, Liverpool not playing too well, not performing the way Liverpool fans want them to perform. And I'm quite sure that you guys are aware that they're building this team up from scratch. This time you can actually say this is Arne Slot's team. There isn't this whole like, oh, he's winning, because he inherited a Klopp's team, an already made team, and it's just him tweaking things here and there. He's just alternating things here and there, which, by the way, was genius what he did with Gravenberg, because not even in Bayern he was playing, or in Liverpool, at least from what I remember, he wasn't playing that much. And it's going to take time. Again, I'm going to say it's going to take time, and I hate this whole thing about taking time, just because, like I always say, the stakes are so high. There's so many people, so many business deals being done, so many other players that could be playing instead of the players that they signed, these players that have a hefty price tag attached to them. So it's gonna take time, unfortunately. And for me, I'm gonna reserve judgment on players like Wirtz. I'm going to judge them based on this game, but in terms of the whole season, the season just barely started, and they just arrived. They're newly arrived players that have never had a full season under Liverpool or under the EPL. So players like Gravenberg and Isak, that's an experienced EPL player, or Kirkes or Frimpong, I'm going to reserve judgment at least until the middle of the season. And even then, we know things can change. Towards the end of the season, they could start playing a lot better. Maybe they start being the players that everybody's hoping them to be based on that price tag the following season. Nobody wants to hear that, but if that's the case and you actually win the season next year, you actually win the Champions League next year, who really cares what happens this season, right? But we don't know that. That's the problem. We don't know what's going to happen next year. So for me, based on this game, this performance, yeah, they struggle. They're still struggling. They're still trying to work things out, and Galatasaray were far superior in every way to Liverpool, and not in the least with the fans. I mean, I've heard it before in the past, like, it's not the easiest thing to go and play in Turkey, and I can see why, because those fans, you got to give those fans credit. Amazing, nothing short of extraordinary what they did. For 90 minutes, they kept on just whistling straight, consistently. Just amazing to see that. It almost seemed like a protest. I thought at one point Liverpool players were going to walk off the field because it was consistent, non-stop whistling the opposition. It was amazing. And I know that's a huge factor that plays into this game, but not to say Galatasaray, the team, didn't play well. I mean, they pressed them on and on consistently, non-stop, until they made the mistakes that they ended up making with Konate. I don't know what's going on with Konate. That's like a theme of his now. Konate's like the new Sanchez from Chelsea. Just mistake after mistake. Every single game he's got to make a mistake. Maybe it's not a ton of mistakes, but there's always a mistake coming from Konate. The same thing in the French national team. So credits Galatasaray for playing the way they did. They certainly had their chances, and they had way many more chances than Liverpool. And this 1-0 doesn't properly demonstrate the way Galatasaray were pretty much dominating over Liverpool in this game. That's not to say that Liverpool didn't have their chances. They definitely did. And I think one of the best chances that, Gakpo and Wirtz, the Gakpo pass actually to Ekitike. Ekitike, I think, wanted to roll it because he couldn't get the shot. He was already kind of losing his balance. Not easy. Don't blame him, because the defender caught up to him. And then you have the rebound that falls right to Gakpo by himself. I don't know what it was. Maybe he thought, he wasn't too confident, not knowing exactly who was going to pop up behind him, because he was square right in the middle, and ended up kneeing the ball. Could have controlled it, could have passed, could have shot it, shot it, or controlled it and gave it to Frimpong, who was, I don't think he was going to be outside because there were two players on the goal line. So there was that chance. That was like the biggest chance. And then there was a chance with Isak, a Wirtz ball. Finally, one of two balls that Wirtz actually found somebody and created a chance to be able to be a threat. And then the Connor Bradley, another one from Wirtz. Well, that was the second one from Wirtz. And the header, I don't think Connor Bradley was expecting that header. Should have done much better. And then the supposed penalty that, at first I thought it was a penalty, and I was like, get out of here. That's not... How could that not be given a penalty? And it absolutely, it wasn't a penalty. I believe he got there first, and that should not count as a penalty. But Galatasaray, so many chances with Victor Osimhen. So many chances. You could simultaneously say that they wasted the opportunities, because the 1-0 just wasn't enough. They could have had a historic win over Liverpool. They could have demolished Liverpool. You know, he had so many. The chip that he was trying to go over Allison, the one where Allison ended up getting injured. I don't know why he got injured. Maybe something happened before, but Allison didn't even look like it took that much out of him when he dove for the ball. Osman, I believe, could have done a much better job at shooting. So they had their chances. They had numerous opportunities to be able to score. And again, Liverpool they don't look, what is it, like cohesive. They don't look like a unit yet. They don't look like there's understanding. Isak comes in, and he had that one ball, the first ball that he ended up touching. And after that, I could, even when I said, is Isak on the field? And I just couldn't pick him out. I just couldn't find him. It took me a while to oh, there he is. And that's a result of two things. One being obviously not having anyone that's picking him out, not somebody that's trying to actually play with him. And the other being looks like there's no understanding between these guys. Like there's no understanding with McAllister, because he's got a sweet shot. He has the wherewithal. He's got the intelligence to be able to pick out any player. Curtis Jones as well. Gakpo as well, if he shifts in the middle. What's his name? Gravenberg. Gravenberg also has a nice touch. Wirtz, where is Wirtz? Szoboszlai, where is Szoboszlai? I know Szoboszlai is always playing a little bit further back, but there are a bunch of players. And Salah's another one that could pick him out. And nobody is really trying to play with this guy. But anytime and every single time he had a touch on the ball, there was always something different from Isak. I always feel like he's trying to go forward. He's not trying to play it back. He's always trying to go forward and just spear that attack going forward and trying to score. He's trying to get goals. He's trying to actually get goals, so I appreciate that. I actually like a lot what I'm seeing from Isak, but he's not getting enough touches on that ball. It's kind of like Haaland in City maybe last year, just not getting enough play with him and his teammates. So if they could kind of figure that out, the sky's the limit with Isak, Frimpong, I like Frimpong. I like that he's like a traditional fullback, and he does the same thing with a little tippy toe, and then he goes to the right, and it always works out. Most of his crosses end up being crosses that get by. The one that he got to Ekitike and the little heel flick. That, for instance, is an example of him actually getting through. The only thing I would say with Frimpong is sometimes I see him kind of frail. Like, he's not the fastest, he's got speed for sure. I just feel like when the time comes to being physical and someone else having the same pace, he's done for. Like, he's not going to be able to surmount that, because physicality wise, he doesn't have that. He's a rather short and skinny guy, but so far I'm liking him. As for Kirkez, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about this guy, and I think I need more. So I'm going to reserve judgment on him too. But I like the combative spirit that he has. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I don't see anything special about him. The same way that I was talking about Wirtz in the last game against Crystal Palace. I don't see him being that great of a player, but maybe that'll change with time. So overall, not good. Not even because they lost, because this could have been one of those games that had they scored and they could have gotten the penalty, if they would have ended up giving that as a penalty, they could have won this game without playing that well. And we've seen that happen many times. And I'm kind of okay with that result, because they did not do enough, and they did not look like they dominate. I haven't seen any Liverpool game where actually I can say like, wow, they dominated. Even the ones that they won, I don't feel like they dominated. I don't think they got lucky. They most certainly earned the 3 points, but I never feel that they have full control of the game. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.